Hi friends, today I'm training on Coding Meetup number 10, higher order function series, create usernames. In this really straightforward kata, you are given a list again of objects and you have to extend every object to have a username property. And this username is it's created by adding the first name in lowercase, then adding the first letter of the last name in lowercase, and then finally adding the birth year. Okay, so three components, and that's it, right? This is like kind of special kata because it doesn't actually have tests written, and they just suggest that we use the full solution. So that like definitely works. I'm not going to create the test like fully myself. That would be a lot of work to create the lists and test if the lists like that would give away the solution like really fast, right? So let's try to do this kata. Okay, so I'm going to expand my solution. This is like kind of strange because I'm always used to first doing the tests, but let's break this habit today. So I got a list, and I have a list, right? That's an array of objects. And I'm returning an array of objects, and more specifically, the same amount of objects. So that's a perfect candidate for map, right? And naming my variable v. And immediately, what you might want to do is, so you have to extend, right? So my initial idea was to do something like that, then the username. Something here. That unfortunately will not work. Let me show you why. In this kata we only have available node 6.6, and we actually have to have Babel to use it, to use the object spread. So right here, let's revert to the old days of object sign. Okay, so object sign, that basically does the same thing, just not as conveniently. I'm creating a new object. I don't want to modify my existing v. I am passing v to be to override this empty object. Finally, I will have this extra object for my username. Okay, so just one property, username, and first of all it has to have the first name in lowercase. So that's very straightforward, the first name to lower case, right? It's really easy. Then you wouldn't believe the last name in lowercase, but just the first letter. So v last name to lower case, right? And we only care about first one. Okay, so that's how you get the first item, the first letter of a string, right? You don't need to use any like specific split or slice or whatever. So just you can specify the index. Finally, this is probably the hardest part of this kata. You have to get the birth year, right? How do you get that, right? How do you get that? So first of all, you kind of have to know what year it's now, and then subtract the age of the participant from like year, what year it is like now. Fortunately, it's not very hard to do. but the syntax can look a little bit tricky to you. So we get this new date, right? Construct the date, then we get full year. Okay, and that's a function. Oh, that looks like a lot of code. Should I give myself a little bit more breathing space? Let's do that. Just to keep my code in. This is like totally inline function, but let's give ourselves a bit more space, because these like two lowercase, those take a lot of keystrokes. Also get full year. So I have full year, and I subtract the h, v.h. And to get full year of like newly created date object, that's the syntax what you use, like new date, everything inside parentheses, and then you immediately have this object right here, so you can call get full year. That's like if you look at the order how it will be like how it will get done. So this one's first, second, then third, and only then I subtract this v.h. It's not cool. I have to do these like together necessarily. So I again wrap them inside set of parentheses. So that's my solution. Let's see if that works. And yes, it did work. As yesterday we had level 6 kata, 6Q kata. That was like really difficult. So this one is like really easy. You see like no tricky parts. Like the only tricky thing which you have to do is like know that get full year gets you the year right now. And you can find that, you can Google that like in like 30 seconds. So still quite a nice kata, quite interesting. It was interesting for me to solve it, so I hope that you liked it too. And see you in the next kata. Bye friends.